Hey, what's up guys and welcome back to Anime King 2. And today I'm going to be giving you part 17 of What If Naruto Got His Memory Sealed Away. Remember to get this one to 300 likes as usual, share this to all of your friends in your social media platform, and also go ahead and check out the brand new episode of What If Naruto was given a second chance over on Anime King, and enjoy that guys. I also posted a new episode of What If Naruto learned the clone's secret in the beginning, so go ahead and enjoy it as well guys. And later on I'm going to be posting a new episode of What If Naruto was the Sasuke King. So stay tuned for that and I hope you guys enjoy. And remember, if you're new and this is the first time hearing my voice and you enjoy the videos on both Anime King and Anime King 2, go ahead and click that red subscribe button and become a part of the Anime King family. And thank you for all of your help and support. Remember to comment down below and tell me if you're new, I'll be replying talking about to all of you. So without further ado, what is to begin this new episode? Begin the intro. So the last time we left off, Sai took off with Himako, as she told Sai about the blade that Naruto had. As Naruto received the information, as he was a small ink rat that burst and gave Naruto the message. As Naruto came out of his hiding, coming towards Sasori. As the blade, the wielder that once used it, they could break the blade apart. It was like alchemy, and shift it in a different manner. As Naruto shifted the blade, and he turned into gauntlets on his arms and his legs, as blades came out of them. As Naruto spun like a tornado, as he ripped right through Sasori's defense, tearing through his cloak and his puppet armor. Meanwhile that was going on, Kakashi told Shikamaru and Teiwaya that he know the best place that Naruto would return to after he's finished what he's doing at Uzo. So they headed off to the location. Meanwhile, Sai and Himako were flying as Sai placed her down as he faced off against Deidara, the both of them having a gruesome battling mid-air with a lot of explosive. Deidara made a risky move by using one of his explosives that made him broke his leg, and Sai got critically injured and dropped to the ground. But Himako came out there with her golem as it protected them. As Deidara kept on sending massive explosions until it exploded the golem, ripping it to shreds. As Deidara was in a building hiding. Meanwhile, Naruto told the Kyuubi to give him what he got, as Sasori came out of his puppet form as he releases 100 puppets, surrounding the entire area. Sasori was no match for Naruto though, as Naruto started to rip and tear through them like they were paper. As Sasori completely underestimated Naruto, moving like a blur, Naruto ripped through all of them. As he took on Sasori, Sasori tried his best, breathing out fire towards Naruto out of his palm, slicing wind and slicing water that teared through the very earth. As he stabbed Naruto right in the stomach, but Naruto held on to him, holding on to the pole and pulled him back. Naruto smashed the Rasengan right into him with so much force, as his heart exploded in his chest. A sealing heart, as he was sent sailing and crashing into a building. Meanwhile, Sai and Himako finally found Deidara, as Deidara was going to blow himself up, but Himako slapped a seal on his forehead. It was different using someone else's ink, as she told him that it wouldn't last for long as he jumped out of the building, landing on one of Sai's bird, as Deidara exploded. As Naruto was there and the building collapsed on top of him. Breaking out of it, they asked him if he was okay, but he told them that he was fine. But just as he collapsed over, seeing that he was exhausted, as Himako rushed towards his side, checking up on him. Well, he was fine other from a few bruises. Meanwhile, Deidara was in the forest sleeping away, as he was going to have a battle again with that ink user, and the next time he will come triumphant. But he saw that Sasori was dead as he had to report that back to the leader. So yeah guys, that was basically that's where we left off. You guys can switch across to the place and check it out for yourself. So what is we begin this new episode? It was later in the night after the defeat of Sasori, as there was a knock on the door. I'll get it, father. As the door opened up to reveal a beautiful dark-haired woman in a pink shirt, as she was surprised at her guest, Naruto-kun. Is that you? As Naruto gave her his best grin. One of his arms wrapped around Himako's shoulder for support, his body in bandages. Hi there, Tsunami-san, he said. It's good to see you again, he said as he rubbed the back of his neck. It wouldn't be me imposing if I asked if me and my guests could stay here for the night, would it? Of course not, she said. After all you done for us, of course you and the guests can stay. Himako smiled. We saw the bridge. He almost fell over when he did. Yeah, I didn't see that coming, said Naruto. Tsunami giggled. Kakashi-san said the same thing. Wait, Kakashi? Yes, he's here, with 2 other kids. He was the one that said you would probably be showing up in a day or 2. As Kakashi came right at the door, the eyes smiled. Oh, hey there, Naruto. Funny running into you here. As Kakashi started to laugh humorlessly, making Naruto laugh uncomfortably, making the 2 females stare at them confusedly. Is Shithead back? Where the hell is he? Kakashi moved off to the side, and just so you know, Teiwai has been pissed ever since you left off in Kiri, so good luck. Oh thanks. Thank you so much, Naruto said in a sarcastic tone. A second later, as if having a demonic chakra flood your coils, for hours. Fighting off against S-rank missing ninjas. Having a legendary blade suck your chakra. Having to get patched all up, and having a cable ran straight through your belly wasn't enough. Naruto found himself getting shaken as Teiwai was shaking him by his shoulders. No, either he would have tried to calm with her, or try to explain or try to switch with the nearest person. Well, Shikamaru, who had just came out to watch the situation, but having going through so much in 5 days, yeah, he wasn't up to it, as he blacked out. Master, Himako yelled, as she showed surprising speed and strength, and yanked Naruto away from Teiwaya, as his eyes rolled back in his head. He then started to foam from the mouth. Why the hell would you do that to him? Have you any idea what he went through today? He was barely able to stand even with my help. Master? Everyone questioned. One of those tones were in annoyance. The other tone was in fury and anger to hear that. And the last one was in amusement and a small, perverted giggle at the end. Himako looked down at the unresponsive Naruto in her arms as she sighed. She looked over at Tsunami. Do you have anywhere I can keep him for the night? I am afraid of the grave injuries that he had inflicted upon himself. It will need a few days before he can move safely. Tsunami nodded. Yes, we have extra rooms upstairs. It was where we were going to place everyone for the night. Himako gave a sharp bow. Thank you very much, she said, before dragging Naruto up the stairs. Kakashi gave her an eye smile. Don't worry, he will be up and about tomorrow. Himako turned as she fully looked at Kakashi. White Fang? She shook her head and continued to pull Naruto up the stairs. Kakashi raised her eyebrow. What did she just call me? How would that girl know that name? Where did Naruto even find her, and why did she call him Master? And why the hell was he so hurt? Just what the hell was he doing while he was gone? Alright, said Shikamaru, the troublesome blonde is back. So can we go home soon? Who the hell was that? And why is she calling him Master? What the hell is going on here? Teiwaya shouted. Kakashi placed a hand on her shoulder. You're not gonna get much out of him tonight, so you just have to wait, he said. The next day, Teiwaya marched towards Naruto's room where he was in, as she wanted answers. But the moment she touched the door, she got a shock, as she saw a seal on the door, as she yelled to Kakashi to remove shithead seals off the door. However, when Kakashi came up there, all he said that Naruto was getting good with his full jutsu. He didn't even bother to touch the door, and he walked away. He giggled to himself though, wondering what that girl was doing all alone in the room with Naruto. Inieri tried to do the same thing by barging in to see his hero, but he got a nasty little shock. Needless to say, no one else bothered to touch the door for a while, until he came out himself. Inside the room, Naruto slowly opened his eyes. Yeah, his body felt like hell. The Kyuubi did warn him about that, and he did got stabbed, and repeated cuts. Yeah, he probably couldn't move for a while. Himako-chan, he said. Himako yawned. Yes, Naruto-sama? Why are you in the futon with me, he asked, as he looked down to see the white hair. She had her head rest on his chest, with her arms wrapped around him. I assumed that without your shirt, and you were in those bandages alone, you would probably be cold, so I decided to heat you up with my body heat. However, I see. So is there any particular reason you're naked, he asked. Oh, I felt it would be better if there was no article of clothing to divert my heat, master. Thinking that he took offense to that, she frowned a bit. Are you angry with me? I'm sorry if you don't find me attractive enough, she said. As Naruto got up, as he sat down, she got up and covered her chest. What? Hell no, are you kidding me? By the way, what cup size are you for reference sake? You can't be anything under a seat. You know what? Never mind, he said. You don't have to do this stuff for me, he told her. You don't owe me anything. I'm taking you with me. Because I want you with me, he said. I was never going to leave you there by yourself. You deserve better after everything that has happened. And seeing that you're all that left of my ancestral village, and you seem to have a connection with my family, I can't just leave you, he said. Himako smiled at him. She was still covering herself, and that is why I feel like I must do these things for you, Naruto-sama. Because I feel that at some point I must tell you about myself in order for you to understand why I feel this way. On the subject about you and the other Uzumaki, she said, well, I think that we need to talk about that. At some point, he said, I would be glad to listen to you when you decide to tell me. As he heard someone coming at the door. Naruto, whenever you feel like taking your seal off the door, breakfast is ready for you and your friend. As he heard a giggle, it was Kakashi outside. You put a seal on the door, Naruto said, looking at Himako. I didn't want anyone trying to disturb you last night, so I put it up. Well, I guess that is our cue to head on down and grab some chow, Himako-chan. He then raised the eyebrow, realizing that she was still covering herself, without any embarrassment or anything. We need to get you some clothes to wear. He then had another thought. Why aren't you concerned that you're sitting right in front of me, naked? Well, I assume that, waking up and seeing me in this state, you would take advantage of me in this state. But seeing that you don't really want to try anything, I'm not bothered by you looking. So you're telling me that you expect me to wake up, seeing you naked on my chest, and then ravage you? As she nodded. Do I really let off that kind of vibes, he asked. Well, not at all, master, but you're a teenager that is growing up, and well, you're my age. It will be only natural for you to take advantage of me in that way. Oh yeah, this girl is going to be a lot of fun, I can sense it. Good luck with that, kid, said the Kyuubi from inside Naruto's head. You seem to be a-okay with that. I would ask you why, but I'm afraid to know the answer, he said. He picked himself up, groaning in pain a little, but it wasn't worse as last night. Okay, change in what I give you to wear, and I'll see if I can't get you any clothes of yours today. Without even thinking, she just stood up, removing her hands as he saw everything. Yeah, kid, I can see it already, said the Kyuubi. That little girl is going to have you wrapped around her fingers without even knowing it. Mark my words, he said. You know, I agree with you, said Naruto, as he couldn't take his eyes off of her. As she put on his muscle shirts, as she smoothed out the shirt, as her hands were going up and down her breasts, making it move jiggly a bit. You know what? I think I was messed up really bad by Erosing and Kakashi. But I don't really care, he said. After amusing himself by watching Himako get dressed, he placed on a shirt, with his red pants still on as he went downstairs. Himako had rebandaged him before he went down there, despite him telling her that he was fine. But she insisted, and bandaged him up, making him look like a mummy. As Naruto came down and sat at the table, as Himako sit right next to him. Alright everybody, he said. I can see that you all have something to say, so say it. It's good to see you again, Naruto. How have you been, said Inari, before anyone could say anything else. Well, I'm glad that someone here wants to know how I've been doing just because they miss me. Well, be that as it may be, Naruto, you said that you wouldn't be gone longer than 2 days, said Kakashi. Well, I severely underestimate the lengths that creepy people are going to go past to find me. Kakashi immediately knew what he meant by that. So how did it go? Well, I'm still in one piece, so that's always good. And yeah, the trip was productive. I noticed, Kakashi said, that I smiled. So who is this mystery girl you came here with? As Himako looked at Kakashi and gave him a small bow. I'm sorry, Hatake-san, she said. My name is Himako Kiyomizu. I was unaware that Naruto-sama knew. Konoha White fan. It's a pleasure to meet you. Kakashi laughed uncomfortably. Sorry, you got the wrong guy. I'm his son actually. Kakashi Hatake at your service. Himako blushed at the mistake. I'm so sorry, she said, but you look so much like him, even with your face covered that way. I couldn't believe that I was in the presence of such a legendary ninja for the moment. Shikamaru raised the eyebrow. Did you just call Naruto Naruto-sama? Of course I did, she said. How else am I supposed to show my master respect? Master? Said Teoya. Shithead, what did you do to get this girl to call you master? Actually, she wasn't following you, leaving Kiri, so where did she come from? And why is she following you anyway? Well, it's a long story filled with lots of plots and very important things, and some personal things. Expect for Kakashi, seeing that he was the one that let me go in the first place. So he's the only one that get the scoop. I'll tell you later, Kakashi. As Kakashi nodded. So you disappeared for a week. Return back all bandaged up, with a girl that we never seen before. And you're not gonna tell us anything, said Shikamaru. Yep, Naruto said. The only one that put something on the line to let me go was Kakashi. If I didn't come back, you know how screwed he would have been? I mean, that walk back to Konoha would be like him, heading to the gallows. Kakashi nodded as he flinched a bit. He might as well go missing then, because Jerry and Tsunade would probably kill him, especially after explaining why he let Naruto go. Why, Shikamaru asked. It was strange that Kakashi would flinch like that at the thought of him losing Naruto. Naruto was strong, very strong, but he was just a Chunin. Kakashi had the Sharingan and he was a Jonin, and a strong Konoha ninja. So why? You really don't want to know that right now, Shikamaru. I can guarantee that you will find it troublesome, to say the least. Teiwaya scoffed. Well, fine then, Mr. Secret. At least tell us, where did you get her? And why did you bring her here? Does she live around here or something? Well, no. I found her while I was off, doing what Kakashi let me to go and do. I found her and she was the only one left. Oh, and she's coming back to Konoha, he said. With me. Oh, of course, said Kakashi. But how exactly are you going to support yourself and her? On a Chunin salary. You haven't happened to have a bingo book on you? Naruto asked. Kakashi pulled a bingo book from his pouch and gave it to Naruto. As Naruto opened it, he flipped through a couple of pages before smiling. Yeah, I'm 100% sure that I can support me and Himako, he said. Why? Asked Kakashi. I'll tell you that later as well, said Naruto. So when do you think we'll head back to Konoha? Since I'm positive that we missed the entire mission in here. Kakashi placed the book back in his pouch. Well, since that you're back to full, or full as you can be, we can head back today if you want. Naruto nodded. That sounds alright. I need to get Himako some clothes first. Because as much as she made my clothes look good, she can't keep wearing them, Naruto said. Teiwaya looked at Naruto and spoke in a rather soft tone. And why on earth would she need to wear your clothes in the first place? Before Naruto could say anything to get out of the situation, Himako answered, Oh, because when Master found me, I had no clothing on of my own. Naruto saw a tick mark start to form all over Teiwaya's face, and a strange aura starting to leak from her. Looking at Shikamaru, Shikamaru is trying to avert his gaze, seeing that Naruto's shirt was really tight on Himako. As Kakashi gave Naruto a thumbs up. You work fast, kid, he said. Naruto held on to Himako and held on to Inyari. Well, it seemed like Inyari needed to go and show me some shops where I can get something for Himako, he said. See you guys later. Before anyone could say anything, he vanished and Shanshin. Kakashi looked over at Teiwaya, who was really calm. There's no reason for me to chase him down. I live right next to him. When you get home, I'll just tear him apart, she said. Time skip. 2 days later. Himako wasn't as fast as them, but Naruto carried her on his back the entire way. That is why they made it so quick. Speaking of her, Naruto enlisted the service of Inyari to find suitable clothes for her. She still had her hair up in her twin, pulling tails that went past her shoulders going down. But she now wore tight, black shorts that came to her thigh, with a long white sleeve, kimono top that stopped at her waistline, with a belt that was white as well, and a white pair of high heel sandals. The kimono top had light blue waves designs all over it. As Naruto instructed her to pick out whatever she liked, it wouldn't be a problem for him to pay the bill. He had rubbed his hands together and chuckled darkly, making Inyari back away from him. Arriving at Konoha, they went to Tsunade as Kakashi gave the mission briefing. As Shikamaru and Teiwaya left the building, as Tsunade went over and opened the window to see an amusing sight, Naruto and Jiraiya arguing with each other. The both of them glaring at each other. What do you think you're doing at my entrance, kid? Said Jiraiya. About to head back in the office a fun way. What does it matter to you, Erosenin? Jiraiya huffed and turned his nose up. Tsunade Haim would only let me enter this way. Why would she let a brat like you do it? He then turned back to Naruto was no longer there. She let me do it because she loved me. That, and the matter of fact I hate Gamabunta up, on a regular to get sake for her. Naruto said as he was standing in front of Tsunade, as they both looked down at Jiraiya from inside the office. Tsunade ruffled Naruto's hair. Such a good little Chunin, are you? Yes, Tsunade-sama, Naruto said. You still got the shipment while I was gone, didn't you? As Tsunade nodded, and Shizune didn't take it from you. As she gave another nod. Excellent, Naruto said. And since you have such a problem with him taking your entrance, you can use the long way around, she said, as she slammed the window shut. Jiraiya pawed the window like a puppy, before frowning as he jumped off the ledge. Roughly 1 minute later, he entered the office the regular way, glaring at Naruto and Tsunade, who were both smirking, as he leaned against a wall. He then noticed Himako. Hey, who's the girl, he said, as she was sitting patiently in the corner, not saying anything, just watching everything. Kakashi was standing there as well, as all of them turned towards Naruto. as Naruto motioned for her to come. "This is Himako, Kiyomizu," he said. "And seal your room off and get your envoys out of here before I go any further," he said. Tsunade looked at Himako curiously. "Is this that big of a deal?" she asked. "It could be, it's all a matter of your personal opinion, but do you really want to risk it?" Tsunade nodded as she waved her hand. As he felt, all the envoys left the room. "I found her at Uzo." "What?" Jiraiya said. "How do you even go there? How do you even know about that place? How do you get there?" "I know a lot of things I shouldn't," Naruto said. "So, I think Kakashi-sensei should know everything at this point. Seeing that he was the one that let me go. Seeing that Kira was just a reconnaissance mission, he let me go to Uzo to see if there was anything there for me. And there was a lot of stuff actually." As he pulled a scroll from his pocket and placed it on the table, "I found quite a lot of things there. Most things about Fuinjutsu that I hope to put in practice soon, and the sword strapped on my back. It's a good thing that I found it too, since my other one was broken during the fight with Akatsuki." "You fought Akatsuki? Was it Itachi and Kisame again?" asked Jiraiya. "No," said Naruto. "Thank God. I would have probably been dead." Naruto wanted to give Sai some credit since that one who chased off Deidara was him, but he couldn't. If he did so, he would have blown both of their cover. I ended up getting beaten the first day they found me, after a day of dealing with all the traps and obstacles that was around the place. I was forced into a whirlpool, were led to underground passages, where I found her. She was frozen in some kind of sealed off room in a vault that I found." "How long was she frozen?" asked Kakashi. "She doesn't look any older than you, Naruto." Naruto nodded. "She was 14 when she was frozen, and that was when Uzo fell. It's been at least 20 years since she was placed there. She's the only one left. And apparently, she's a level 9 seal master. She's better than you, Araseni. Actually, I was ranked level 9, but I wasn't able to take my promotional test, so I don't really know what level I am now," said Himako. Jiraiya looked at her in disbelief. "You're seriously saying that this girl is better than me in Fuinjutsu? You need to come up with better stories for a little girlfriend, kid. First of all, we just met, she's not my girlfriend," Naruto said. "Second of all, yes, she's that good. She made a seal that animated a statue. A chakra blocking killing machine that almost killed me twice. In addition to that, she saw my sealing making skills once, and she ran it down to the letter, pointed out every single one of my flaws. And she did other things that you could never come up with on the spot. She doesn't need any guide points. She can just make something up like that. Yeah, she's better than you, by far." Himako blushed and all eyes turned to her. "You don't have to say it like that, Naruto-sama," she said. She then straightened up, "But Master is right. I did say that I would work with him on his Fuinjutsu. I cannot let a knowing Uzumaki exist that is less than my equal at the art. So enlighten me, Naruto," said Kakashi, "because I've seemed to miss the reason why she called you Sama and Master without any trouble whatsoever." "Because Naruto-sama is my master," said Himako. Like that answered everyone's question. Tsunade sighed, "Brat, there better be a damn good reason why this girl is calling you Master, like she's obligated to do so." As Naruto noticed her hand twitch as he started back up a bit, "I tried to get her to stop doing it ever since we met. All she said that she insisted, and that is how she showed her respect to me. So it's not my fault," he said. Himako frowned. "Naruto-sama is the only Uzumaki left alive, apparently. I pledged my life and service to the Uzumaki clan after they rescued me, and gave me purpose, therefore he's my master, and I'll do whatever he commands of me." Jiraiya pulled out a pad and a pen. "Go on," he said. Himako was oblivious to Jiraiya's action, therefore she went on. "I will do whatever Master requests. Anything that he desired in my power, it is considered done. I am his to command for his ever will." While she spoke, Jiraiya was writing madly in his pad. "Oh, I see no problem with this," he said, "as long as the kid knows what he's doing." "You wouldn't, would you?" said Naruto. "I'm not going to let her do anything she doesn't want to. But yes, she's going to be living with me. I think I can get her assimilated quicker if she's with me," he said. "Very well, I'll have her enter as a citizen of Konoha when I get the chance." "Do you wish to be a ninja?" she asked. "Well, she's not really good at ninja stuff, she's just wonderful at Fuinjutsu." Naruto-sama is correct. I was never trained to be a ninja. I was just instructed about Fuinjutsu from the earliest age that I can remember. Tsunade gave the girl a smile before turning towards the scroll that Naruto placed on her decks. "So I can assume that this is full of the other things that you found." Naruto smirked. "Not really. I still have those things with me, seeing that no one but a Uzumaki can open them or read them. This is something else though. It might make our treaty stronger, after what it went through over the years." As Tsunade opened the scroll and released it, as she saw things fall out broken pieces, Jiraiya's eyes went wide. As he saw the scorpion, "This is the insignia of Sorcerer of the Red Sand. Are you telling me you managed to capture one of his puppets?" Oh no, that's Sorcerer himself. Well, what is left of him? He turned his body into a puppet. The only thing that was really having blood in it was his heart. Because man, that thing bled a lot when I hit it. So, when can I expect my money for the kill? Said Naruto, as he turned towards Navi. I'll dispatch a hawk to the sun when you're done here, she said. Good work, kid. How did you pull it off? Yeah, said Kakashi. I'm actually very interested in that too. As Naruto told him what happened in the battle with sorcery. After I finished that, and another member was Deidara, but he got away. So you know 4 of the members now, and you can confirm one of them is dead. That's some good work, Naruto, said Jiraiya. You're really coming along these days, aren't you? Yeah, and after Kakashi told me, I know what I'm doing next. What would that be, Naruto? Kakashi asked. Naruto raised his hand as wind chakra came in it. I'm going to mix the wind element with the Rasengan and see what I come up with. He raised his other hand as he started cackling with lightning. I have 2 to work with now, he said. How did you get an other affinity? Kakashi asked. Well, I use a lot of lightning jutsu to go with my wind, Naruto said. You would think that I suck on lightning stuff because it's weaker than my main affinity, but I use it so much I develop a second affinity. Naruto-sama may not be good at phone jutsu, but he's very strong. Can I ask you a question, Master? Himako asked. Sure thing, Himako-san, you can ask me anything that you want. She walked over. She placed her hand on his belly as she pulled up his shirt. I thought that you weren't very adept to sealing, so what is this on you? She said. How did you come up with it, and why is it there? It looked like it was meant to hold something back. Does it hold back a bulk of your chakra or something? She channeled her own chakra around it and made Naruto seal appear in his stomach. All of the adults darkened at that. Find out that Himako find out about the Kyuubi. But Naruto just smiled. Tell me, if you find out that what was inside of me wasn't normal, would you think less of me, Himako-chan? Well, I know how strong Fuin Jutsu is, and this seal is very complex, so I can tell that it's something strong it's holding back. Something very strong. I told you that she was good, Naruto said, looking at Jiraiya. As he looked down to see Himako poking at his seal. When did you find out about it? He said. I saw it when I was bandaging you up, to go back to the place with Kakashi-san. But there was some red glow coming from it, but you were slipping in and out of consciousness, so I couldn't ask you. What do you know about the word Jinjulki, Naruto asked? Himako blinked. You mean you're like Mito-sama? Again with that name. And you say I'm related to her or something. What does she have to do with being a Jinjulki? Oh, you don't know? Do you know anything about your clan master? She asked. Nope, no one ever told me anything about them. I just figured it was a simple family name. Mito was my grandmother, said Snappy as she looked at Naruto. She was the wife of the first Hokage. As Himako looked around, you sure do know some powerful people, master. Tell me about it, Naruto said. But what about Mito? How does she fit in the term with Jinjulki? That's easy, she was one. She was a container of the Kyuubi. Naruto looked back. So, I'm related to the first Hokage's wife. Well, in some way, seeing that she's a Uzumaki. She was the first Jinjulki. My father was the fourth Hokage. I'm from this powerful clan. Well, now I see why Danzo wanted me to become the Hokage. I'm already mixed up in this scrap. Oh wait, he said, as he snapped from his thoughts. That means we're actually family in some way. So you can't say Jack when I call you Snappy Bachan, right? Is that right, Bachan? He said. Snappy glared at him. You're lucky we're family, brat. Love you too, Bachan. As he ducked the paperwork that she threw after him. Huh, you gotta do something better than that, he said, before something smacked him over the head. I mean, really? Who the hell throws a shoe, Naruto asked? As Naruto rubbed his head and got up. Himako, well you see, I am the new Kyuubi Jinjulki now, he said. I would understand. Whoa, Himako said, cut him off. You're so awesome, master. As she kept on poking at his belly. You mean, you're the walking example of the most powerful Fuinjutsu known to man. Jiraiya looked at her, so you're not concerned about this in any way. Of course not. He's still the same master. The demon is not him after all. Besides, it's Fuinjutsu, so it's not like it is him. Naruto smiled. She was taking it well. You know what, Bachan, I was thinking. Maybe you should just tell everyone about the Kyuubi. Why on earth would you want that, Snappy asked. Naruto chuckled a bit as Himako kept on poking at his stomach, and it was tickling now. It's obnoxious to keep a secret, and it's a bad secret. Everyone knows except for the kids, and if there's one thing I hate is badly kept secrets. You might as well just let people talk about it at this point. Jiraiya looked at Naruto with a proud look on his face. He was taking his burden on headway, other than sweeping it under the rug. The kid had surely grown, as he looked at Naruto with a proud smile. And if anyone has a problem, Just let them know that I killed an S-rank ninja by myself. By the way, they can't get into my house. After Himako is going to help me set up the security seals. Kakashi shrugged. Well, it's his secret to tell, I guess. It will make one less secret the village had to keep anyway. Yeah, and when Akatsuki tries something on me, the village will know why I'm tearing it apart to defeat the Akatsuki members. Otherwise than being confused. Snather smirk. Well, that's all I need right now from you. Take your friend here and settle in. I'll get you later if I need anything else. Naruto pulled Himako up from poking his stomach. You can gawk at the sea later. It's time to show you around before I show you where I live. As he picked up bridal style. As he walked over to the window, using one hand to hold her and the other hand to open the window. As he waved the hand behind him and jumped through the window with her. After showing Himako around, they came back to the apartment. As he was thankful that he didn't spend much time here or trash the place or anything. As he clicked the light on. Master, why was so many people looking at you strangely? Himako asked. Well, most people don't like Jinchuriki, and they think that I'm a demon reincarnated or something like that. Well, that's really dumb. No one ever thought of Mito-sama like that, she said, as she sat on his couch. Well, she was the wife of the Hokage. If I was him, I would have chopped off a few heads if they tried anything against my wife. Well, I only have the one bed, Himako-chan. You can have that until I get paid for the mission to my bounty. You know what, I was thinking of moving out, and since I have you, that was the best course of action in this case. Naruto then heard loud knocking on his door. Come in, Teiwaya-chan, he said, as he headed into the kitchen. Teiwaya came in as she leaned against the wall. As she saw Himako on the couch, she then turned her head, hearing Naruto in the kitchen. So where did you go? As Naruto did not turn around. Uzu, ever heard of it? No, I haven't. Why did you go there? Family stuff. Trying to find out about them, Naruto said, as he cursed. Nothing but ramen. Himako-chan, you don't seem to be a big fan of ramen. So I guess the rest of my money will go to some real food. What do you like? Himako sat down and thought about it, as Teiwaya was wondering, why was he telling her these things so easily? Why didn't you tell me anything when you arrived with us at the house? And you're telling me now, she asked. Naruto grabbed a carton of milk from the fridge and shut it, because you didn't need to know. You actually still don't need to know, but I'm actually telling you this because Himako is going to live with me, and you should at least know where she comes from. She's going to live with you, Teiwaya asks. Why? Because she's from 20 years in the past and she has no idea how this world will operate, Naruto says. He came back into the living room. Not only that, she insists on serving my clan, and I'm not gonna stop her from doing the only thing that she wants to do. Maybe I can find her something else that she wants to do along the way. She's from 20 years in the past? Yes, said Himako. I was frozen and preserved. Sealing is a very powerful art. Alright, I guess I can work with that and get used to it. But you better not do anything perverted with her, and take advantage of her because she wants to serve you. Naruto smirked and pulled Himako into a hug. Oh, why is that, Teiwaya-chan? Would you like me all to yourself? As Teiwaya looked at him, ready to say something, but Naruto cut her off. I'll give Himako whatever she wants. And if she wants me, well, I guess I have to give her myself. If you want me instead, all you have to do is ask. I can make clones, you know. There's certainly more than enough of me to go around. Teiwaya blushed at the sight, before Naruto walked over to her and whispered in her ear. I warm up at making 100. Just imagine that. 100, he said slowly. As that was enough to make her black out with a nosebleed. As Naruto caught Teiwaya bridal style. As he smiled at Himako. Well, that was easy enough, wasn't it? And she didn't curse or beat me up or anything. I'm gonna go put her in her apartment, and then we're gonna get some food, okay? Time skip 5 months later. Between the land of earth and the land of grass. Location mountain areas. Naruto was sitting down, his eyes closed. His hair has grown out a bit over the 5 months, reaching past down his neck, as he was wearing the gear that he bought in Kumo. The sleeveless, dark, grey hooded vest, the black pants, black braces on his forearms, and his black shinobi sandals. He had grown about 3 inches over the past few months and about. A man wearing a cat mask entered the cave. You're already awake. Well, that's good. It's time to get to work, kid. Naruto chuckled. No time for real rest, huh, Tenzo? Tenzo sighed and pulled his mask off. He had black eyes, and he had short, brown hair. He used the code name for the love of God, Naruto. Naruto sighed. We're in a cave, 1,200 feet off the ground. Anyone that isn't in here and hear your name is actually gonna be dead in a few minutes anyway. And if a patrol came all the way from the base, way over here, they're either completely stupid or the others didn't cover their tracks that well. Tenzo's eyebrow twitched. Lack of protocol for respect aside, you did very well on this assignment. Who knew that a 14-year-old kid would be so good at sacking bases? I thought the Hokage was insane when she stuck you in my squad. but you're good at this. Naruto shrugged. Just because I have a ton of chakra, that doesn't mean I cannot operate without it. I like this kind of stuff. Though that basin in Yumai Kuning was a pain in the ass to the scientists and all that. Good thing you were there when it started to fall apart. That sea monster was really annoying. Well, it was pure water, I could control it and bend it to my will. Not a really big move on that Amake guy's part. Uncle really didn't take lightly, though he played with that girl's head anyway. I almost feel sad for the bastard. Almost, said Tenzo. Yeah, and that's why we sent her and that Ice Rabbit girl back to Konoha afterwards. So, who's going with me on this one? Is Yujiro heading with me? You're going in alone on this one. If you get caught, they're going to swarm and head outside. Only the best will stay inside. And from that point, you have to cut loose with the Kyuubi's chakra. I mean really cut loose, like go as hard as you can. That is why I'm here, remember? Yeah, about that. Why do you keep insisting that I go full blast with the Kyuubi's chakra? I know it's good practice when I'm not at home and I can do this, but aren't people gonna be freaked out knowing that Konoha was behind this? When they sense a residue of the Kyuubi's chakra when we left? Or can your Mokitan handle that as well? As long as you don't turn the place into a smoldering crater, we should be good. Although we were supposed to do that anyway, but not with the Demon Chakra. Naruto got up and stretched, so how am I doing this? Am I going loud, or am I going on a slide? Quiet, Tenzo said. You pretty much have the layout of all of Orochimaru bases in your head, so anyone else going in wouldn't have the layout, or the map out like you. As Naruto took off his headband and placed it into his pocket, as he tied his hair in a ponytail, and put his hood over his head. I mean, if you see one, you really know them all. I mean, the man has no kind of artistic layout. It's just one long big idiot maze. As Naruto jumped outside of the cave, landing right on the wall. As Tenzo gave him a salute as he nodded as he started to scale up the cave. As he was so grateful for Tsunade once again. Flashback 5 months prior. She's kidding, right, Shizune? Are you kidding, Tsunade-bachan? Please don't tell me you're kidding. I mean, are you really gonna let me out on an Iraq mission? You were recommended for Anvu by Genma and Kakashi. This is a perfect opportunity to see what you got, even though you're not technically one of them. Any objections? No, not really. But can you do some stuff for me while I'm gone, Naruto said. Tsunade thought about it. What do you need, she asked. Naruto smiled. First of all, take care of Himako for me. She should be just fine. She lined the apartment with seals, so she is secure. But she might get lonely. Just keep her busy. She can make all kind of stuff for you. Just give her the specs of what kind of seal that you want. Second, get rid of that law for the Kyuubi. If people want to talk about it, go ahead and let them. Let them form whatever opinion they want on the matter. I'll just have to change their opinion later, or kill them for being stupid. Whatever come first. Tsunade's sweat dropped at the casual tone. Sure, she said. Now, about your mission, you'll be finally using that head of yours. With all of those secrets, now what do you remember about his bases, she said. Well, I do remember a few of his lieutenants' name, and where a few of his bases are spread out all over the place. Shizune gave him a paper and a pen as he started to write out what he knew. Tsunade waited for him to finish as she took it. This is not bad at all. Definitely more than what we got. You will be accompanying a group of Anvu on a search and destroy missions on the base you just listed for us. Finally, Naruto said. So are you going to promote me now or what, he asked. Maybe, when you get back, she said. I'll summon you in a few days to get your full briefing for the mission. Tell no one exactly what you're doing. I'm sure you already know this. Hey, what about my money, Naruto said. It's been almost 2 weeks, and I haven't got my money for sorcery. Well, Tsunade says she rubbed her forehead. Since he turned his body into a puppet, there is no vital evidence of it being sorcery, despite the signature poison that you sent back on the weapons. You need DNA? So why didn't you just say so? I kept the tatters of the shirt that I wore when I first fought him, and had all the blood over it. I'll send it right to you before I go on my trip. I want my money. The sand is not getting out of this one. I'll handle it if you get me DNA. Now go and get some rest and ready for the mission, she said. As Naruto nodded. End of the flashback. Naruto slid through a cave entrance, which you remember. After going inside, Earth style, hidden mole technique, he said. As Naruto created a clone, as the clone transformed into a spider, before he pulled out some ninja wires. As the spider took the wire. As the stone shinobi was right there, the thing crawled on the wall and landed on his shoulder, before wrapping it around him twice, slightly so he wouldn't notice. The clone then jumped back over to the wall, and tightened the wire on it and then dispelled. As Naruto then grabbed onto the wire after getting the men from the clone, and pulled it as hard as he could. As the other piece was in the wall, and Naruto was pulling on his side, the man's head was sliced off. Naruto then threw a stone. As the other stone ninja turned his head looking over towards the direction, pulling a kunai, Naruto aimed the man just right and threw it, as the thing ripped right through the man's skull. Dashing forward, he ripped out the kunai out of the man's head, as he created a clone to clean up the mess, while he headed deeper into the cave. Seeing no one on the first floor, he had to go past the pressure points on the ground, to not step on them. Then he had to go past the poison gas. There was a lot of traps which Naruto passed all of them without alerting them. Remember in the first base, he hoped that the same works for this one as well, going left knowing that it lead to the main hall. Eventually he came upon a room with all kinds of communications equipment. As Naruto pulled a kunai, a man was sitting in a chair, his back turned to him. There was no need to kill him, the place was going to come down soon anyway. As he thrust the kunai and cut the wire that lead to the other communications, as the man started to hear nothing but static. Outside of the base, the envoys were watching out. As an envoy with purple hair turned to her partner, Teiko, she said, "How long do you think it will take him to finish up?" "I don't know, Yujiro," said Tenzo. "It depends on how many sound shinobis come across in there. Sending him to do it alone was better than having the other two split up. It was much better than what happened in the first base, remember?" "You're breaking protocol, Teiko. Naruto must be rubbing off on you," said Yujiro. "But you're right, I guess. That alert in the first base. I'm actually still scared from when he asked to access the Kyuubi's chakra to let us get out of here. I can see why he was worried on using that on us. The bloodlust I felt was horrible. Well, he's in there alone now, so this place gonna be coming down sooner or later. And we're not in there for him to worry about us." Back inside the base, Naruto only had to kill one more person, a lone ninja that caught sight of him, but he took him down rather quickly. Naruto was now looking for the laboratory. He wanted to get the person, as the seal on Anko's neck was organic, and he figured that it was a person that the seal came from. So destroying much of these bases, he should find the person, and when they get that person and their DNA, that could help Hamako on breaking the seal on Anko. As Naruto came up to the door, instead of some security device or something, it was protected by a lock, which Naruto easily picked and went inside. The lab was empty and cleared out. He should have known if this place was more active, the people here would be more secured and ready for anything. They had already destroyed 2 bases, and they haven't found much yet. As Naruto saw another door, he went over to it, but it was locked from inside. He then heard a voice over the intercom. To the fool who thought of inspecting the remnants of my research was a good idea. If you really want to see what I was doing here, all you had to do was ask. As a chuckle then came over the intercom, the far back wall then opened up to reveal 3 men in prison uniform. Naruto sighed as they were in the second stage of the cursed seal, given the unhumanly skin and their unhumanly shape. These guys were nothing more than mindless savages now, but he couldn't open the door without getting rid of them first. As the 3 of them rushed at him at once, but they were nothing compared to him. They were just mindless savages. Ducking under a swipe, Naruto sliced off his arm. As he then jumped away, the other smashed the ground, smashing his foot into one of their head. It knocked him back. Thrusting his sword forward, he impaled him right through the stomach. Ripping out his blade, Naruto spun and sliced off the other 2 heads. The other one was on the ground getting up with a growl. Naruto picked up the kunai and thrust it forward, as it burst right through his skull. As he then picked the lock, as he got a satisfied click. "Time to pull out," he said. 1 week later, at Konoha, Tsunade read over the report given to her by Yujiro, Tenzo, and Naruto. "So you didn't get anything out of them," she said. "He probably built bases, and then leaves, after doing what he does there. Keeping some troops there so if he had to fall back on them," Naruto said. "The base in Yumai no Kuni was long abandoned. I think the last time he was there is when he placed the curse mark on Anko. And about that, does Anko want to kill us for sending her back?" Tsunade smirked. "I'll keep that one a mystery until you find her." As they had to send Anko back, seeing that she was so pissed off at Amaki for what he did to the girl. It brought up memories of what Orochimaru did to her, and she started to act reckless on the mission, so they send her back. She then looked over at Tenzo. "What do you say about Naruto's performance?" Tenzo took off his mask and smiled. "Well, we're all alive, Hokage-sama. Naruto did a great job. The second base in the Land of Rivers was a bona fide death trap, but we worked it out in the end." "That was just a bunch of grunts," Naruto said, with a shrug. 5 months and nothing. I need to find Orochimaru soon and kill him before he can switch body with the Uchiha. Or kill the Uchiha. Well, whichever one works out. Hey, where's Erosenin? The next time we do this, if we find the snake, he needs to be there as well." Yeah, about that. He came back while you were gone and asked me where you were. He was kind of pissed off because I didn't know where you were exactly. And he told me to make you summon him when you got back. And how the hell am I supposed to summon him? Oh, he told me to make you summon a toad and told you to come and get him. Naruto bit his thumb and went through hand sign, summoning jutsu as a tiny toad appeared. Hey there bro, it's been a long time. How you doing? Hey, long time no see, Yamakichi. But I've been super busy these days. Can you get Eroseni for me or whatever that means? Sure thing, he said, as he poofed away. So what's new around here these days, Naruto said. Before Tsunade could answer, Jiraiya appeared in the office in a poof of smoke, with a small elderly toad. Now remember to visit me and Ma soon, Jiraiya boy. And that apprentice of yours, bring him next time. Oh, I'll be sure to do that next time. Why don't you just meet him yourself right now? He's over there. As Jiraiya pointed at Naruto, the toad looked Naruto up and down. Yes, he'll do just fine. Be sure to bring him when you're ready, when you think he's ready, okay? Will do, Fukasaku. Tell Shima I said bye. As the old toad nodded and vanished. Jiraiya then turned. Well kid, did you have fun? Kill some stone ninja, did you? Well yes, not the ones I needed to do. But what was that all about anyway? Jiraiya chuckled. Even as Sanin has a train too, kid. I went to Mount Miyaboku since you were off. Pillaging. Now, Haim, I need to steal a kid away, since you already got these two in the briefing. Before Tsunade could answer, he grabbed Naruto and jumped through the window. Thanks a lot, Haim, he said. But guys, be ending this episode right here. If you want to be part of this, or know what to do, like, subscribe, comment, no below, and turn the bell notifications stay posted. Remember, share to all of your friends in social media platform. But I'm out for now. See you guys soon. Peace.